$150 million sold to the Einstein-looking dude in the back from Colorado with one hell of a company called Palantir. Now, Palantir just got awarded a $250 million contract from the US Army to research artificial intelligence. And for those of you who may wonder, because you heard for the past few weeks from certain experts that Palantir is not a real AI company, yes, they did just got paid $250 million over the next 3 years to research AI. So I guess, yes, Palantir is a real AI boy. I think what's more important here, number one, it proves to a lot of people that the government business is still alive and kicking. We heard some claims that the government business is slowing down. No, it's not. It's always going to be there for Palantir, like a warm blanket on a cold night to cover yourself when things get bad. In a bad economy, you best believe Palantir will rely on the government business. And when things get bad, you always have this great money coming in from the government, regardless of how bad the economy is. Now, of course, I believe that the upside of Palantir is in the commercial sector, but this is a huge proof of concept for those who doubted the AI capabilities of Palantir. Now, here's the thing. Of course, Palantir does not generate AI content. They will not help you write articles like ChatGPT. That's not what they do. A lot of these systems are great at generating data, at generating content, but they're absolutely horseshit in organizing that and making sense of it. This is where Palantir comes in. This is where Palantir always came in. This is what Foundry was always about. And they've made billions doing that. And once again, they're going to corner this market and they're going to own it. And some people are going to be sitting on the sidelines, being all cynical, talking about how they're not ChatGPT, smirking, and missing out on the opportunity. They build the ecosystem, the operating system, the entire system in which AI works. So if you're a company, if you're a business, if you're a government agency, and you want to utilize AI in your operations, you need something to make sense of it. You need something to actually utilize this AI in the best way possible. And in this aspect, Palantir is currently number one. Nobody comes close. Just like Foundry being number one in business intelligence, this thing has no rivals. No AI system in the world right now has these features. And it's not that easy to develop them, contrary to some idiots telling you that on social media. Now, the crazy part about this whole thing is that this is the shovel makers. You remember a few weeks ago I explained to you that in the gold rush days, much like we are right now in the AI gold rush, in the gold rush days, the biggest money makers were not people who were digging gold on their knees, were the people who are selling shovels. Palantir is selling you the shovels to this AI gold rush. And for that reason, they're going to do just fine. In fact, and here's the crazy part, there was never a better time to own Palantir. Yesterday was the best time to own Palantir. Today is the best time to own Palantir. And tomorrow will probably be the best time to own Palantir. I mean, you cannot compare the level of opportunity that Palantir has with any other company in the market right now, with the exception of perhaps Tesla. And the problem is that markets will punish those who are impatient and opportunistics and people who play like amateurs. In every sports, that's true. In every business, that's true. And in the stock market, it's 10 times truer. Now, I'm not here to say that Palantir is going to run to $20 today because they got a $250 million deal. That's obviously not the case. If it happens, great. But most likely, it's not going to happen. More likely that Palantir is going to drop to $13 or $12 or $11. It's a very volatile stock. It does not behave in a traditional manner. It's going to go up and down in a really, really mean way. I mean, if you're impatient, if you're an amateur, if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have conviction, if you don't have confidence, this stock is going to destroy you. And while it is true that yesterday, today, and most likely tomorrow will be the best time to own Palantir shares, the market is going to punish the impatient and the amateurs. For sure, 100%. Now, if that's the case, and you do want to own Palantir, how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the volatility, the insanity of the stock? Because obviously, this is one hell of a crazy stock to own. Well, the only way to do it, I'm going to keep it simple, is by having a solid system. A system that's proven, it's objective, and it cleans out the emotions. Because imagine buying Palantir today on this beautiful deal, and then all of a sudden waking up tomorrow to a $13 stock price. You just lost 10% overnight. What gives? What do? You panic? You're stressed? You can't sleep? You can't eat? And I totally get it. It's absolutely horrible to be in that position. But the only way to overcome it is to build a system that cuts out all the emotions, all this emotional crap out of your system, and be absolutely objective and analytical about it. That's the way I do it. Now, we on our Patreon group, patreon.com/Tom Nash, and our Discord, 5,000 member Discord, this is how we do it. We dollar cost average every single month an exact amount into Palantir. And this amount, for everybody, they have their own amount. You build your budget, your expenses, your income, and determine how much you want to put into Palantir. Every single month, that amount is fixed. Let's say it's $100, right? And every month, you invest $70 into Palantir. And $30 goes to the side to accumulate 4% interest. Why? Because you keep it to the side for something I'll show you in a second. And every month, you buy 70 of 100, 70 of 100, 70 of 100. And you keep that 30 on the sideline. The minute that Palantir pops, you keep just doing the same thing. You don't FOMO in, you don't mortgage your house, you stay the course, you stay disciplined. But if Palantir drops to say 13 or 12 or 11, you don't run for the hills, you don't panic. You take that 30s you got accumulated on the sideline. And now, instead of buying $70 every month, you're buying $140 every month. And you keep doing that until Palantir goes up again. Now, I've talked about it many times. We built a certain threshold, a point, a price point, under which we double down and above which we just keep DCA, dollar cost average, in a normal amount. And that way, there's no emotions, there's no decision making, it's all automatic, like a bot. If you do that, over time, over 2, 3, 4 years, you're going to accumulate a cost basis in Palantir, which is going to be very, very close to the bottom of the share price, not to the top, not to the average. That's just a simple math. And we have members in our group that have started Palantir at $23 and ended at about $12 because they did that same system. And by the way, if you haven't yet, go watch this video with Alex Karp absolutely leaving the entire CNBC panel speechless, breaking down the future of Palantir and its AI capabilities. I'll see you there in just a second.